The season is finally over for the NPFL, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. What a fun and interesting year the National Professional Fishing League has had. They finally had their last tournament. It was a reschedule from a tournament that happened when we had the hurricanes here. They were going to come to DeLand. They rescheduled it back for DeLand, but because of all of the rain we received during the hurricanes, the water's just too high here. It just really is. It's finally just now starting to recede. But they had to reschedule the event from the second time in DeLand to Lake Murray just this past weekend. And there were several storylines coming into the final tournament. Really, the biggest storyline was Drew Cook going to win Angler of the Year or Kyle Welcher? And Lake Murray was going to be a tough fishery that ended up being quite a good tournament for the NPFL. And unfortunately, day one had to be canceled because of just horrible weather. And that's when the fun started. Now, before we get into that, we need to just say congratulations to Bailey Gay, who won his first NPFL tournament and $100,000. So congrats to him. We also have to say congratulations to Kyle Welcher, who won his second Angler of the Year, well, one on the Elites and one on the NPFL. And this is a humongous accomplishment. It shows the consistency that he had throughout the year. It shows that he's still one of the best anglers out there. And he is one of the good guys out there, to be honest. He's a really good person. A little crazy in his videos because a bird goes by and they start talking about the video.
It's through. We got a blue jay.
It was beautiful.
It was pretty. Just popped right down there to make a cameo. Did you get any film of him?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Next season for the NPFL, they will only have one tournament where they're using forward-facing sonar. They'll use it during the championship, but the rest of their tournaments will have no forward-facing sonar, and that is what a lot of fans want. It's one of the major comments I receive is that fans are looking forward to supporting the NPFL because of their historic decision to prohibit forward-facing sonar starting in 2025. And I think 2024 was another learning year for NPFL. I think they'll have some big changes going into 2025, not only with forward-facing sonar, but hopefully getting themselves a better platform for the fans to watch. And I think having that platform and continuing what they're doing now with their media presence, I see an upside for the NPFL, and I hope that they succeed at what they're doing. However, the biggest story of the weekend, or from the tournament, was the argument fight between two anglers and Brad Fuller. And this is just another step back for the NPFL, unfortunately. Now, you have to remember that Brad, if you don't know, has a military background. And I've been told several times that when people don't follow or have loyalty or follow by the rules where he came from, people would get hurt. And he uses this same analogy in the NPFL. He wants loyalty. He wants trust. He wants it to be a successful organization. And Brad has the best intentions on making it. But he is a little hot-headed at times. And that argument probably was the biggest part of the tournament. And that stinks. I don't believe you should ever put your hands on anyone. I honestly don't believe you should ever threaten anybody that you're going to kick their ass if they're on the wrong side of the aisle. Or bully someone into the way you think things should be. Change is really hard for people. Change is hard for me. Change is hard for a lot of you. But I think the road that happened up there in Murray was the wrong decision. And I'd like to see some responsibility and some action taken to just say we messed up. It was a mess up. We're going to keep moving forward and build on this experience. But I'm not sure we'll see that, but I hope that we do. And it should be said, there are times that anglers are the same way. When you're challenged or backed into a corner, there's a lot of times you come back pushing back and saying things and doing things that sometimes you don't mean. But again, it doesn't mean that you go to the level that it happened at the NPFL at that restaurant. And after 4 years, the NPFL is starting to put their feet in the ground. It's taken a little bit of time, but they are building on all experiences to create that next tournament level success for the anglers and for themselves. And 2025 offers a huge improvement, or a huge possible improvement for the league. And hopefully they continue to build on what they have. Sometimes maybe taking a step back and saying, okay, we're not going to fight. We're going to listen to what other people say. One of the issues that they have with me is I have said I've been hypercritical about certain things that they need to do. And here, after 4 years, they're starting to finally do them. And when the league is your baby, you're going to take offense to certain things. And there's times to take offense, and there's times to learn from it. And while I'm not right all the time, and they're not right, and you're not right, sometimes we have to agree to disagree and not hold it against the person. And the NPFL is building on something that could be really great. They have the right people behind them. They have the right people within the organization that want to do things right, that are living this tournament. They're living and breathing all the time what's going on. And while the argument and fight is something that's horribly negative, I think they would admit at some point in time it was the wrong thing to do. I would hope so. And 2025 is bright for NPFL. It just is. They really do have a good crew. And while I disagree with the fight and argument, anglers fight and people fight. Sometimes we just got to go, I'm sorry, and move on. So what do you think? Are you watching NPFL next year? Of course they got to get a new platform. Of course they got to do some major changes. But are you watching next year? That's what I want to know in the comments below. So comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thank you to all the new subscribers, the new members, the people who are showing up at 8 o'clock on Friday nights to watch the live. I really do appreciate it. It's a humbling experience having the success I've had since April. So thank you. I'm humbled by it and really appreciate all of you. But remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.